because his resume right now is, even though he's still young, he's under 30 years old, and he's
Right.
going to get a gold jacket simply because he has a Super Bowl MVP, a league MVP.
A1. 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 Yeah. Truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam. Cooler and I'm flyer too.
What's happening? What it do? Welcome back to the show that's cooler and flyer too. And shout out to all my people who are cooler and flyer too, because you already know on that, I'm Mr. Me Too. A1 Forever Sports. Why settle for less when you can have more with a vision? Be generational because it's always time to be. And with that being said, is the Mahomes Burrow matchup just as good or better than the Manning and Brady rivalry? So, bringing in right now, my main man, my bro, Coach Wes. Yes, sir, man. Welcome back to the show. My bro, like I said before, man, Coach Wes coming in to have this football discussion. Like I said, a guy who I know for a fact is definitely pro Peyton Manning. You know, I said I like Peyton Manning as well. But this right here, man, this rivalry now that's begun, should I say, between Mahomes and Burrow, man. This thing is looking real nice. I'm enjoying it so far. And I wanted to compare it to, Manning versus Brady. And, probably one of the best rivalries we had coming up in the early 2000s. Burrow and Mahomes will probably be better than what Manning and Brady actually were, just because of how it's starting off. Brady was, I believe, 6-0 before Peyton was able to break through in 2005 to get a couple of wins himself. So, I mean, what are your thoughts, man? Like I said, I know you Peyton Manning pro, but still, I mean, you just see what's going on out here.
I think it's very early, kind of almost too early to tell. It's almost like when you put the cookies in the oven and you desperately want to eat them, but they ain't not done yet. You got to let it cook a little bit longer. That's how I feel about this early rivalry with Patrick Mahomes and Burrow. I think, it's too early right now. Uh, we're measuring them against all-time greatness, like the two of the greatest to ever put on pads and put on cleats and play the game.
Mm.
That's a tall task to ask of anybody. When you're measuring greatness, in my opinion, you only measure greatness against other greats. And right now, they're so young that you can't really put them in the conversation with a Hall of Famer and a potential Hall of Famer. And I don't want to disrespect Tom Brady because he's going to get a gold jacket.
Yep.
But Patrick Mahomes is probably on that he's going to get his gold jacket because his resume right now is, even though he's still young, he's under 30 years old, and he's
Right.
going to get a gold jacket simply because he has a Super Bowl MVP, a league MVP,
Mm-hmm.
passing
Five straight
passing
NFC
yards.
champ. I mean AFC
His
championship
resume
games.
looks good. Burrow he's going to grow into it. He's been to one Super Bowl and he lost that Super Bowl.
Mm.
Conference championship is a big deal. He's
Only 3 years in, too.
3 years in, so he's been a needle mover in Cincinnati. He's really came along in Cincinnati. It was like the standard is winning. He has a championship mentality. You can tell in all the things he does. So, but it's so early for me and him to be comparing them against the great Peyton Manning and the great Tom Brady who retired, I believe, a day ago officially.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going. I can't compare anybody to Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. You know,
Well, you really can't compare anyone to Tom Brady by himself, really, just considering the fact that all his accomplishments and everything, too. I mean, what you probably could get close with Peyton, with their rivalry and everything. But once again, like I said, it's just I know it's early, but from what I see as far as NFL rivalries go, right now, they're the main show. I can't put Josh Allen in there. I can't put, honestly, Lamar Jackson in there. I can't put either one of those quarterbacks or anybody else that's in the league right now who is a young quarterback over these two, because they go at it, and when they go head to head, it's must-see TV. You have to watch it. Last year's AFC Championship game was actually eclipsed by this year's just because it was a rematch between these two quarterbacks. What makes it a rivalry to me is the fact that Burrow, even though he hasn't accomplished as much as Mahomes has in his last 5 years, going on 6 years, like Mahomes has, he still has beaten Mahomes 3 times, regardless. 1 time to go to the Super Bowl and a couple of regular season wins. We can say what we want about officiating. You're not supposed to let it come down to the officials. We know that too. But we can also make the argument a penalty here, a penalty there that doesn't happen. We may be going to overtime, and we never know what would have happened in there. So I just see the potential of something like really great sparking up again in the AFC, like how it was with Peyton's Colts / Broncos and Brady's Patriots.
I'll say this on that note. I believe, because, I'm a historian when it comes to the game of football, and I love the history of the game and some of the things that have happened. We've been spoiled for a very long time with great quarterback play. That era of quarterback play is officially over for the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, the Ben Roethlisbergers, the Phillip Rivers, all those guys. They're officially gone.
Guys we grew up on, man.
Yes.
Those are the guys we literally grew up on.
Yep. That next era is here. The next era is here. And I think the National Football League and pro football is in good hands with quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes leading the way, Joe Burrow, my guy, Lamar Jackson, who has to stay in Baltimore, please, Mr. Shoddy, and all the other young quarterbacks. I think the league is in good hands.
I still like Justin Herbert. I think he needs
Justin Herbert is a good young quarterback as well. And I know I'm going to sound kind of, but it's something about the San Diego, I can't call them San Diego Chargers, but LA Chargers. I'm so used to, calling them the Superchargers.
Old Superchargers.
Yes, the old Superchargers. It's something about playing quarterback. They have had some good quarterback play for a long time and no championships.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You have had some of the all-time greats like LaDainian Tomlinson play there and no championships. The great Marty Schottenheimer was a coach, no championships.
14-2, man, got fired after that.
So, it's some things that happen in not San Diego, LA now. There's some things that happen there that I don't know if they are championship organization. They have good talent. They've had some great talent, but I don't know if they're championship ran organization. But I think they do have a young, good quarterback. I believe Kellen Moore, the Boise State
there now.
Former All-American quarterback, is going to be their offensive coordinator. I'm a big fan of Coach Kellen Moore. Had the opportunity to meet him and talk football with him a few times. He's a great offensive mind. He's left-handed, and he sees the game from a team first point of view, and he's trying to get the ball in everybody's hands that can make plays. I think it's going to be a loss for the Dallas Cowboys on that note. But, I think the league is in good hands with these young quarterbacks who are still growing up right before our eyes.
Exactly. You really are, man, because like what you got, like I said, 3-1 Mahomes and Burrow, 9 touchdowns, 3 picks, QBR rating of 63 for Burrow. And we also have for Mahomes, 8 touchdowns, 2 picks, 75 QBR for Mahomes, man. They go at it. The game.
That's a big thing now because he played a clean football game.
Exactly.
He didn't turn the ball over. He had the one fumble, but he didn't really turn the ball over. He was trying to get the ball out of his hands real fast, and the ball kind of slipped. But that was his only really turnover, and it really didn't cost him. It wasn't a devastating turnover. But, Burrow turned the ball over a few too many times. And in big championship games, your mistakes are magnified tenfold. You cannot have those mistakes. You can't be turning the football over. You can't be throwing interceptions, and those things happen. And Patrick played on what
A high ankle sprain, man.
one leg. He
High
did
ankle
it
sprain.
out.
Still was 29 for 43, bro.
Yep, he did. And I remember a lot of people saying he doesn't have footwork and he's all this. And his arm talent and he can't do certain things. I think he put a lot of that to bed about who he is as a football player, as a quarterback, because he was out there throwing it on one leg. He really was efficient throwing the football. And if you look at his receiving core, they was decimated at receiving.
Definitely.
He was throwing the ball to the practice squad guy and making plays.
Yeah, I mean, Sky Moore, the rookie, he was out there making plays because what you got, Tony, Juju, all them going down. Then you got Valdez Scantling, pretty much a Packer castaway. And then what? Hey, look at him making plays in the AFC Championship game. These games are just so great too, man, just because they're settled. All 4 games so far have been settled by 3 points or fewer.
At this time of year, you're gonna take the win. You
definitely are.
It's more important that when the clock is 0-0-0 in the fourth quarter or in overtime, that you either have more points than them. That's all that matters at this point. Because the legends and on the TV series America Game where they talk about the champions, all that matters is that the score goes your way. So, but it's gonna be tight football here on out.
Brady, and he has the ability, one more win this year, and he will have most likely the best 5-year span of any quarterback ever. Like it'll be the greatest 5-year span of anybody ever.
That's saying a lot. It
is saying a lot, man, because that'll be he win the Super Bowl and do well in the Super Bowl. That'll be a Super Bowl MVP. So that'll be 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 Super Bowls, 5 straight AFC Championship games, winning 3 of them, going to 3 Super Bowls. If he had an offense, huh?
You gotta add his league MVP on that.
Exactly, which he may get another one in a couple of days. So it's like that would be the greatest because he already has stats as far as postseason. He's already passed Drew Brees in passing yards and also passing touchdowns, over 27,000 yards, over 224 touchdowns in the postseason. I'm like, that is crazy in a 5-year span.
He's in a perfect storm situation. Coach Andy Reid, coming from the tutelage of those great West Coast offense system coaches, just took Patrick Mahomes and groomed him very well. But, with all those accolades, it gets to a point where you can't compare him to anybody right now that's in the league because he's the only one left with championship. Like when he go home, his house has a Super Bowl championship to it. And all those accolades and passing yards, those are Hall of Fame worthy numbers.
Right.
So he's going against history. Right now he has to, further, cement his place in football lore. And, there's kids out here who feel like they can be the next Patrick Mahomes. That's when you're really going against history. So Joe Burrow has a ways to go. He has a ways to go. And, he has to win more than one conference championship.
Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam. Cooler and I'm flyer too.